Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of MAD Limited. Make a difference, lead the difference. In our previous episode, we saw how a company like HCL Technologies managed to counter the impact of the recession with their EFCS initiative, Employees First, Customers Second, and how the journey of MAD has been so far. A MAD platform that helps change agents realize their dreams in our country. But before we move on, let's have a look at last week's contestants.
We developed a website called www.birthdaytree.in where we tell people how to plant trees, which trees to plant, and how do you take care of them. But the question was how to motivate them.
I think it's an interesting idea. I think it needs to be thought through a little bit more.
So here come green was connecting pupils and the paper. This is the waste paper collected at some place and it goes through 2 cycles.
I like the idea. I like the intent for sure. I'm not sure I understood the business of it, and I think it can be made into a business.
MAD Limited is one such initiative to try and touch 10,000 lives every year and ask them why not. Ask them about new ideas, a new way of thinking, and push them very hard to try and see if they can break the boundary of conventional thinking and can they think innovatively and ask themselves why not.
Jatin Kumar joins us with his rather interesting idea of ERP through IVRS. Let's find out what this is all about.
I feel a bit nervous. At the same time, I'm confident about my idea. And I feel that judges would find synergy with my idea. ERP systems provide detailed reports, whereas my product, which is academic ERP and IVRS, provides quick and on-the-fly information. The students' records are accessed through IVRS system, whereas records could be students' grade, attendance, library fees. My target market would be private schools, the coaching centers, the government and private colleges, and there are plenty of opportunities for this idea. Academic institutions are shifting towards technology. My key focus area would be in R&D. For example, you go to the IVRS menu, you don't have to type 1, 2 for accessing the menu. You just have to say, I want to see the fees. And speech recognition would be helpful in that area.
With so many large companies that are looking to build internet portals and everything else, how do you plan to compete with them?
It's not about an internet portal, but it's about accessing the information through your telephone lines.
So is this something that you're doing because it was a software engineering project and you've implemented, or?
Yes, I started it as a software engineering project,
right.
And later on I realized that it has a potential to transform the education sector. It was a learning experience. There were some questions on me, and I think I have to think about them.
I mean, I did have a concern about costs, and given the fact that the education system is crying for funds right now, is this the critical element? I don't know.
I especially like the fact that he spun it out of an existing project that he was working on.
Right.
So he's not a man who sort of stops where the assignment stops.
From ERP through IVRS to social work through websites, let's call on our next participant, Keshav Kumar.
There's a bit nervousness. I'm thinking to give my best. I'm hoping for the best too. Let's see what happens. Suppose you want to do some social work. You will Google search. Contact the NGOs, send an email. They will approach. The process is quite long. So finally only very enthusiastic people really end up working. So there's a need of a single platform to approach where people can go online and see what the volunteer opportunities are around there. The search can be filtered through time, where you want to work, location, and beneficiaries. There will be user and NGO profiles where there will be database of what works they have done already. How do we expand? When we did this in one college for 1 year, then from the next time in one city we take up another 3-4 main colleges. Then for the next year we'll open it up for all the colleges. So when they know the efficiency, they will contact you. And after the colleges, we move on to the general people.
Is this a business or is it a non-profit?
Whatever we earn, if we earn through Google Send, then it will go into advertisement campaigns, publicity campaigns and everything.
Do you know if this domain is available? Nobilitybook.com?
No, the .in is available. Well, it went well, and especially what I liked was the questions actually helped me to think about the other perspectives of the website and how to improve the idea.
Personally, I think it's a good idea. I think there is a need. I think there are folks like us who would like to volunteer. We don't know where to go. And my biggest concern as a business person remains that I think this is going to need a lot of money, and I don't know if he's kind of thought through.
I think there is a lot of power digitally in thinking local, and a lot of people make the mistake of not thinking local and thinking we will beat the world on day one.
Right.
So I think he's got that very strongly in his mind, and as a consequence, there is something very, very interesting in the way he's thinking this through.
Most of the hurdles which the youngsters are facing is a couple of them. First is what I call an excuse culture. It's not my fault and the environment doesn't allow me to execute my ideas. And it is very important for us to educate them that the environment is like a hurdle race. The hurdles are meant for the purpose to be crossed. The second is that they're not pushing themselves hard enough to be ridiculous. But if they push them a little more, the ideas will become ridiculous, and ridiculous ideas is like switch hitting of cricket. It's ridiculous but very effective.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Welcome back to MAD Limited. Make a difference, lead the difference. Till now, we've seen 4 out of 8 contestants meet our grand jury, and it definitely has not been an easy task. From mobilizing human resource through website to a very interesting idea. This is called Mobile Rental Library, and trust me, I'm curious to find out what this is all about. Let's call on Nupur Agarwal.
Feels great. I'm excited, nervous, and there are a whole lot of feelings. I just can't express them in words. They're going to ask me questions and everything. I am not at all aware what's going to happen. In US, we've heard about bags of Gucci, Prada, all being lent out on rents. So I thought, why not mobile phones and other tech gadgets? It's going to serve as the ideal hub for the middle-income youth, because without burning a hole in their parents' pocket, they'll be able to experience the latest technology that's there in the market. There's going to be a 4,000 of membership fee that I've planned for it, and a monthly rent of 10%. On the market price, whatever is the existing market price for that gadget that the person is issuing. And I've also planned out another segment in the library that will be about recycling of the phones.
In your view, how much money do you need to start this, and what will happen?
It entirely depends on the cost of the whenever I'm going to start it, it will be depending upon the cost of the phones, the gadgets in the market.
So given your focus on the latest gadget and so on, at 10% with 1.5 months, assuming you turn it around in 2 months, you will recover the cost of the device in 2 years.
That is why I've diversified it. Earlier I was thinking only about the mobile phones, and now there'll be PSPs, Xboxes. I think through all the services, if you're going to charge, I will be able to cover up the cost. They were good to me. They are good charges. They are nice, and it's good to be inside.
It comes from a desire, captures the market feeling about wanting to use the gadget and everything else. The pricing and the details, she has to work a little more.
There's also an environmental aspect to it, which was nice to see kind of concretely in there. The business plan, the what's actually going to be done in terms of, does the pricing meet the needs of the cost and the capital recovery?
Needs to be ironed out.
Yeah.
Right. One interesting idea to another one which holds a ray of hope for the country and the world in general. Let's now call on Siddharth Chatwal from Delhi and his mad idea of solar panel use. Siddharth, for you.
It feels great to know this fact that we have a future which might be very well. Yeah, I'm feeling a little nervous about going in there, which is very natural, but I'm feeling mad enough for it as well. The government of India has admitted that the coal reserves will only be good till 2020. I developed a business plan so that I can tap the potential of solar energy in our country. First stage included aggressive installation of solar panels in rural areas. Also, we are ready to provide initial maintenance for a couple of years. The capital which will be generated will be put in the R&D of mobile towers, and a self-sustaining solar-propelled mobile tower will be brought to the market.
Why do you think it hasn't happened, and are there any technological challenges that you have to solve? Or
the other companies, they have been intending to make solar energy connected to the grid. But what I propose is making self-sufficient off-grid powerhouses through solar panels.
Who's the target audience? Who's going to buy these systems at 2.5 lakhs per kilowatt?
The company will be owning the power system. It will be the property of the company. We'll study the usage first, how much and they are consuming, and then according to their needs, we'll be working out the plan. I'm all smiles. It was stupendously wonderful. It was better than expected.
I think I would really suggest that since he comes from a technology background, he should focus on this mobile tower problem, because there is a person who can pay. There is a very high cost that is being borne, especially in rural areas. And if he can crack that, then he can go back and work on other things.
Undoubted opportunity.
Right.
Nobody questions that. The idea is good, but the execution remains a challenge, a huge challenge.
From solar panels, we now have Sneha Kuniseni from Hyderabad, and she has an interesting idea, N2. Let's find out what that is all about.
Nervous and a bit excited too. I've come this far. I have to give my best shot. It's my chance.
As you know, there are many events and weddings that are going to occur every day in our country. Wastage in mass catering, that is from canteens and offices, corporate offices and other places. The food wastage is very high in there. It's leading to I'm really sorry, I'm so nervous. It's leading to great amount of agriculture wastage. This is why I started a foundation where I can collect the surplus food and distribute it to the deprived population. I also did some campaigning at hotels. I covered over 30 hotels in Hyderabad. I've got letter from them telling that they're going to help us with donating the food.
In your research, did you see where the hungry are, where the malnourished?
Yes, I went to one of the slum area, which is Uppal Kaman in Hyderabad. I went at night, 11:30 or so. My volunteers went there. We asked them, did you eat your food? So they told, we haven't had enough food. Are you ready to take food if we offer now? They said, yes, we are ready.
Are you passionate about implementing it?
That's why I've come with this idea. I'm really passionate about it.
Let's assuming you don't win this competition.
I still go on with it.
What will you do?
I will register it first.
Okay.
Still go on campaigning with different hotels, and I'll search for more volunteers.
Actually, I was very nervous. I forgot many points. I paused many times. But still, when the jury asked me questions, I could cover all the points. So I'm happy with it.
I thought the passion certainly stands out. I think the communication is an issue because she needs to bring so many people together under this vision. So that is a bit of a challenge for her.
Good thing I like is that she's done a lot of work. I mean, she's actually gone ahead, spoken to people, and I think, as Krishnan said, there are issues to be ironed out. But my sense is that if she keeps the enthusiasm going, she'll iron them out.
Inside every single Indian is a problem-solving genius. Everyone has an innovative idea. Everyone has an inventive idea. Everyone has an opinion on how the world can be changed and how the nation can be changed to make it a better place. And we need catalyst agents like MAD LTD to bring these ideas together, to give them a platform, and to, most importantly, to give them feedback, telling them how good or bad their ideas were and what they need to do to take it to the next step.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.
Welcome back. We are now in the last leg of the grand finale. One contestant remaining, and one of these thought leaders is going to be crowned as the CEO of HCL Technologies MAD Limited Season 2. So let's dive right back in. From management of food to spare to our final idea here in MAD Limited Season 2. This is E3 treatment for slums. And let's call on Sunny Kumar Verma.
I'm thinking how to present my idea to the jury so that they can understand my idea very well, and they can give me one chance to implement my idea in India to make India slum free. There are about 40 million slums in India. The major problem here is poverty, illiteracy, poor hygiene. Now I give here a cure for this problem, that is E3 treatment for slums. E3 stands for Enhance, Educate and Enrich. We'll act as agent to provide the basic facilities given by the government. We can volunteer it through social media, for which I've created Facebook page which has gathered 500 people in just 3 months. I've created front end of website also. We can analyze the slum areas and explore it.
Did you know that Surat is supposedly slum free?
No, I didn't know about that. Okay.
So they demolished the slums, but in place they actually constructed housing. So it wasn't the lack of education or the lack of enrichment or the lack of motivation. It was really just
housing. I would like to mention over here, I don't want to give them basic amenities like take this shelter, take this food. If I educate them, motivate them to be self-employed, they'll be happy forever.
So I found something you said, Sunny, very interesting in the beginning, which subsequently was never mentioned again. Yes, which is that the slums are a product of this whole rural-urban migration. Obviously. That's a massive problem.
That's the main point where I want to focus.
But from what I understood, you will now make them thrive in their existing slum, so that even more people will start traveling in from the villages with the E3 program.
No sir, I'll implement it in the, wherever required, I'll implement it. Suppose few slums are also present in village areas. I couldn't analyze the data of all the slums all over India. So next time I'll try to improve on those areas, and I'll collect the data and implement it accordingly.
I'm not sure he's sort of understanding the problem that exists. It is a noble purpose. We'd love to see this happening.
And now, the moment we've been waiting for. Let's find out who the winner of MAD Limited 2012 Season 2 is. Let me now request the judges to join me. Krishnan, can you please tell us who the winner of Season 2 of MAD Limited is?
So, after intense debate, the judges have decided that the winner is K. Sneha. Come forward, Sneha.
Sneha, a couple of words from you.
It's a great moment, Thanks for the jury, really thanks for the jury. Thanks for knowing how much I put the effort into my idea, and thanks to the jury. Thank you.
So every year when the CEO of MAD Limited gets selected, HCL Technologies actually wishes to support that idea through into fruition. And the entire jury believed quite unanimously that with the amount of passion that Sneha demonstrated in her idea, we would be able to support it and make something really big out of it. That's what drove the decision.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, just the fact that she'd worked hard and actually, figured out a lot of the issues, and, there are always issues to be dealt with, but the fact that she put in the effort really swung it enough here.
Her idea touched a chord with people, and so it's a problem that everyone recognizes. And the way she has gotten the initial success makes it scalable and actually workable.
I think the fact that Sneha and her fellow volunteers have taken the time to meet people and understand what their needs are as well as on the supply side, understand what some of the challenges might be, made a big difference. And then applying sort of the whole biology behind it was also a really great factor.
Sneha, you were the most nervous of amongst your fellow contestants, and for me that meant that it mattered a lot to you. I think the fact that you almost broke down, and it just shows that you're passionate about the idea, and that carries a lot of weight for all of us, by the way. We thought you were the most passionate. And you more importantly convinced us about your passion. And that should take you forward. So you'll work out the kinks in it, as will all of you, by the way. So congratulations.
Reaching the grand finale is no mean task. We have a small memento from HCL Technologies for all the participants here. Today, one more idea in the pipeline has been transformed into reality, and 8 youngsters are ready to change the world. And with this, we come to the end of this season's madness. We hope you enjoyed this series, but this madness doesn't stop here. We assure you we will be back with more seasons, more such entrepreneurs, and bring about radical changes in the society with such new and innovative ideas. Till then, keep watching.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.